So, you're thinking about getting your Azure AI 900 certification? That's awesome. Whether you're just dipping your toes into the world of AI or you're looking to make your skills official, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to break down exactly what you need to know and, more importantly, what you need to do to pass this exam with total confidence. All right, let's get into it.
Seriously, I want this to feel less like some stuffy lecture and more like we're just having a chat. I'm going to walk you through my personal game plan, the whole process, from understanding what's even on the exam to the best strategies for the big day. No fluff, just the stuff that actually works.
Okay, so first things first. What in the world is the AI-900? And who is it really for? Let's kick this whole quest off by just setting the scene.
Now, I want you to really focus on that one word, foundational. This is key. This exam isn't trying to trick you with deep, complex coding algorithms. Nope. It's all about proving you get the main ideas of AI and, crucially, that you know which Azure tool to grab for which job.
And this slide right here, this really gets to the heart of it. It honestly doesn't matter if you're a developer, a project manager, or even in sales. If you're just curious about AI and you want to understand how it all clicks together on the Azure platform, then this certification is your perfect entry point. It's designed to be the first step on the ladder, not the final boss.
And here's a huge piece of advice that should let you breathe a little easier. When you start looking at the study guide, you're going to see two words over and over again: describe and identify. See, you need to know what a service does, not necessarily the nitty-gritty of how to deploy it from scratch. This makes it way more about understanding the concepts than being a hands-on engineer.
All right, let's get into the good stuff. You know, to conquer any challenge, you gotta have a map. And for the AI 900, our map is the exam blueprint. It tells us exactly what we're up against.
So this chart is basically your cheat sheet for studying. It shows the 5 main topics, or domains, and you can see the scoring weight is spread out pretty evenly. What does that mean for you? It means you need to have a solid grip on each of these areas. You can't really afford to skip one.
So, kicking things off is the first domain. Think of this as the why we do it and how we should do it right section. It covers common AI jobs, sure, but just as important, it's going to test you on Microsoft's principles for building AI ethically.
And here they are. You absolutely, positively need to know these 6 pillars of responsible AI. I can almost guarantee the exam will give you a little story and ask, okay, which principle applies here? For example, making sure an AI model isn't biased? Yep, that's fairness, plain and simple.
Next up, we've got machine learning itself. Now, for the exam, you just need to get the difference between a few key things. Predicting a number, like a house price, that's regression. Predicting a category, like is this email spam or not spam, that's classification. And then you have clustering, which is all about grouping similar things together automatically.
From there, we move on to computer vision. This one's pretty cool and easy to get. It's all about teaching computers how to see and understand the world. Think about your phone automatically finding faces in a photo, or a system that can read the text off a receipt you just scanned. That's computer vision.
So, how does it all work behind the scenes? Well, at a high level, it's kind of like a chain reaction. Someone uploads an image, and that action triggers a call to the computer vision API to analyze it. The results, like, hey, there's a cat in this picture, get stored and then shown in an app. Now this is a super important point, and a classic exam-style question, knowing which tool is right for the job. If you need to do something pretty standard, like detecting common objects, the pre-built Azure AI Vision service is your best friend. But what if you need to identify, say, your company's specific product logo? For that, you'll need to train your own model with your own pictures using Azure Custom Vision.
And now for domain 4, natural language processing, or NLP. This is the magic that lets computers understand what we say and write. This covers stuff like scanning customer reviews to see if they're happy or angry. That's sentiment analysis. Or, instantly translating text.
And finally, we've reached the biggest domain of them all, generative AI. You've heard of this. It's the tech behind tools like ChatGPT. In the Azure world, this is mostly handled by the Azure OpenAI service. The key idea here is that the AI isn't just understanding things, it's creating brand new, original stuff based on what you ask it to do.
Okay, we've mapped out the entire exam. Now for the big question. How do you actually prepare for this journey? Let's talk about the tools you need and a simple study plan that will get you across the finish line.
I swear by this simple 3-step approach. First, go through the official Microsoft Learn modules. They're free and they're made specifically for this exam. Second, and this part is non-negotiable, take practice tests. They are the best way to see where you're strong and where you need to study more. And third, get your hands dirty. Use the free labs to actually click around and play with the tools. It makes everything stick so much better. So you've put in the work, you've studied the map, and now it's exam day. Don't worry, having a good strategy at this point can make all the difference.
Here's the deal. You get 45 minutes to answer about 45 questions. The math is easy on that one. You've got roughly 1 minute per question. That means you can't afford to get bogged down.
So here's your game plan. If a question totally stumps you, just bookmark it and move on. You can always come back later. Read every single word of the questions carefully. Microsoft loves to throw in little details that can change the answer. And here is the ultimate pro tip. You can actually use the Microsoft Learn documentation during the exam. It's a game changer. Don't rely on it for every question, but if you're really stuck, it's an incredible safety net.
So, after all that studying and a super focused exam session, what's the prize at the end of this whole quest?
Well, you officially earn the Microsoft Certified Azure AI Fundamentals credential. You get a shiny digital badge you can put on LinkedIn, and it's proof that you know your stuff.
But honestly, it's more than just a badge. This certification sends a really strong signal to everyone that you understand the basics of one of the most important technologies on the planet right now. It is the perfect foundation to build on, whether you want to be an AI engineer or just be the person on your team who actually gets AI.
So in the end, the real prize isn't just the certificate. It's the knowledge you've picked up and all the doors that knowledge can open. You've got the map, you've got the toolkit, and soon you'll have the fundamentals down cold. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?